Hello there. $1.30 for a dozen eggs in 2012, and over $8 in 2025? What happened? Inflation means prices go up, and your dollar buys less. Inflation is easy to notice, for example, in everyday food items like eggs, coffee, milk, and meat. Over time, you get fewer and fewer items for the same $20. Why does inflation happen? What are the different types of inflation? Demand pull inflation. This happens when many people want to buy something, but there isn't enough of it available. For example, Hedgie sells eggs on his farm, and everyone wants to buy a basket. There are enough eggs for everyone, and that's great. But then, a fire breaks out on the farm, and now there are very few eggs left, definitely not enough for everyone. People are now willing to pay more for what's left. When competition for a product increases, its price goes up too. Cost push inflation. That occurs when the cost of production increases, leading to higher prices for goods and services. Let's take a look at the cost of eggs last month. It included bird feed, the price of the basket, farm maintenance, and profit. Altogether, this made up the cost of one basket of eggs, $4. This month, after the fire on the farm, the situation has changed. The price of feed went up to $2. The basket price stayed the same, but the cost of running the farm also rose to $2. As a result, profit turned into a loss. To fix this, the only solution is to raise the final price of a basket of eggs to $6. This will cover the losses and bring the profit back to its previous level of $1. Built-in inflation. This happens when the cost of living goes up, and workers are forced to ask for higher wages in order to maintain their standard of living. Let's look at an example of a factory worker. His average salary is $800, which covers expenses like housing, food, phone service, and other small daily costs. Each month, he's able to save $100 from what's left over. But if food prices go up by $100 while his salary stays the same, he won't be able to save anything that month. And if other expenses go up, he won't be able to cover all of his basic needs. Analyzing the situation, the worker asks management for a raise to $1,000. He's satisfied with the increase, but how does this affect the company? The boss realizes that the company's expenses have gone up, and he doesn't want to lose profit. As a result, he raises the final price of the product. As a result, a vicious cycle forms. Product prices go up, workers ask for higher wages to maintain their standard of living, and companies raise the prices of their goods to preserve profit. Monetary inflation is a sustained increase in the money supply of a country or currency area. When the amount of money in a country increases, prices for goods and services usually go up too. Let's say there's an apple that costs $5, and there are 4 people who want to buy 1 apple each at that price. The store has exactly 4 apples. Hedgie is happy to sell 1 to each person, and everyone's satisfied. Perfect balance. But what if the central bank prints a lot of money and gives each shopper an extra $5? Now everyone has $10 and wants to buy more apples. But the store still has only 4 apples. Realizing this, the store raises the price, because people are now willing to pay more. In the end, each person still buys just 1 apple, but now it costs $10. That doesn't mean the apple became more valuable. It just means there's too much money floating around, and that money has lost some of its value. Economists usually talk about 4 different speeds of inflation, measured in percentages: creeping inflation, walking inflation, galloping inflation, and hyperinflation. How does inflation affect the economy? Inflation is like fire. A little warmth is nice, but too much and things start to burn. How bad is inflation, really? Is it always a terrible thing? Sure, inflation has its downsides, but it also comes with some upsides. Let's take a closer look. The downsides of inflation include a drop in your purchasing power, the shrinking value of your savings, difficulties with budgeting, wages rising slower than prices, and a loss of trust in the national currency. But inflation has its upsides too. People tend to spend more, which keeps the economy moving. It becomes easier to pay off debts, because money loses value over time, making future payments feel cheaper. And it encourages investment. People realize that letting their money just sit around isn't smart, so they look for ways to make it grow. So, to sum it up, in this video, we learned what inflation is, why it happens, the different types of inflation, its pros and cons, and how it affects the economy. In the next video, we'll talk about who controls inflation, how it's managed, and what you can do to protect yourself from its surprises. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you found this interesting. This was Hedgie, signing off. Stay smart, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.